Welcome to this video on how to play Bite Me, the card game. Bite Me contains the rules booklet, a large deck of 90 cards, score sheets, and coins. The setup for Bite Me is very simple. First, separate the I am blank cards that are I'm a vampire, werewolf, or zombie cards from the rest of the deck. Each player selects a score sheet with their own personality for the game. There are 12 to select from. Select a dealer to shuffle the deck. For 2 to 4 players, the dealer deals 7 cards per player. 5 and 6 players, each player gets 5 cards. You're almost set up. Now remove all the sharp objects and weapons from the room and get ready to play. A few things to know about Bite Me before we start. Humans cannot kill humans in Bite Me. Humans can only infect other humans. You can't kill yourself. There's no suicide. You can turn other players into monsters and then you slay those monsters. The player to the left of the dealer starts. Each player can play 1 or 2 cards per turn. That's not including additional cards used in battles. We'll talk about that later. Combinations of cards can be a very powerful strategy on how to win Bite Me. Alternatively, you can discard 2 of your cards and pick up 2 brand new cards. That's your turn. Players at the end of the turn can draw back to the original number that they had at the beginning of the turn. Reshuffle the discard deck as many times as you need to replenish the deck as you play the game. At the beginning of the game, each player will pick a score sheet and a personality that matches their personality. For example, this is Brandy. Notice Brandy is surrounded by 3 monsters, a vampire, a werewolf, and a zombie. Your goal is to kill at least one of these types of monsters and record them on your score sheet. For example, if you killed a zombie, you would cover up that zombie with a bloody axe. To win the game, all you'll need to do is kill a vampire and a werewolf and still be human or become human again before anyone else, and you'll win the game. The problem is all the other players are trying to do the same thing. They're trying to infect you and kill you. If you are killed, you must take a coin and cover up one of your 4 lives or one of the 4 coffins at the bottom of your score sheet. If you are killed 4 times and lose all 4 lives, you're out of the game. So notice there's 2 ways to actually win Bite Me. You can be the first to kill all 3 monster types and be human, or you can be the last sole survivor, kill everyone else off, you win. Let's talk about the layout of the cards. All the cards have a similar layout. They're color-coded. Each card is either purple for infection cards, green for protection, red are attack cards, blue are rejuvenation cards, yellow are strength cards, and black are movement cards. We'll explain what each type of these cards are and how to use them in this video. Notice in our example here, we have a red Bite Me card. The red indicates it's an attack card. Notice the number 1 indicates the level of the card. 1 is the lowest level or strength of a card. 5 is the highest level of a card. The 2 small boxes underneath the number indicate how can I defend myself if this card is played against me. For example, this is a number 1 red attack card. I could play a higher number green or red card, and we'll show you how to do that later in the video. This card also tells me who I can play it against and when I can play it. At the beginning of the game, you want to start infecting your fellow players and make them into monsters so you can kill them. Purple infection cards are how you change a human into a monster. In this example, we're going to use a mad scientist. It's a purple infection card, level 4. The only card that could possibly beat it is a green level 5 card. The Shield of Life is the only level 5 green protection card in the deck. Therefore, this is the only card that could beat a mad scientist. There are no ties in Bite Me. If someone plays a level 4 infection card against you, you must have a level 5 or higher card. There are no ties. No, you cannot combine multiple cards to make a stronger play. In other words, if I had a level 2 green protection card and a level 3 green protection card, I can't play them together and call it a level 5 card. Only 1 card played at a time. Let's talk about the cards that you separated out at the beginning of the game called You Are a Vampire, Werewolf, or Zombie card. Let's say someone plays a Mad Scientist infection card on me and I cannot protect myself. I don't have a Shield of Life card. I'll then become a zombie. At that point, I'm no longer human. I must pick my zombie personality and put it in the middle of my score sheet so everyone knows I'm a zombie and I'm available to be killed with the right kind of weapon or spell. In this example, I'm choosing Roy. Roy's my zombie type. Each player will probably be human and 1, 2, or all 3 types of monsters before the end of each game. When you're infected, you don't lose a life. You only lose a life when you're killed by either an attack card or an alpha battle, which we will explain later. Now that I'm infected as a zombie, other players can try to kill me. For example, let's say someone plays a red attack card, a fire level 1 card, against me. Level 1 attack cards of fire can only be played against zombies. So make sure to read the card before playing. Fire is a level 1 attack card, and if you'll notice there is a green and a red box underneath the number 1 on the fire card. Therefore, I can defend myself by either playing a green protection card or a higher number red attack card and attack them back. We're in a battle. Let's say I try to protect myself with a level 3 protection spell. I place the card down, and the battle ends. No one dies or loses a life. I also have the option of fighting back or attacking my attacker back with a higher number red attack card. In this case, let's say I play the Sword of Destiny, level 4 attack card. The Sword of Destiny card can only be played against an infected, not a human. Make sure to read the cards before you play. If my attacker cannot defend themselves with a higher number red or green card, they will die. I will get credit for killing that type of monster and they will lose a life. When a monster is killed, they lose a life, but they stay that type of monster. They do not become human just for being killed. Now that we've talked about purple infection cards, red attack cards, and green protection cards, let's talk about yellow strength cards. Let's say I'm infected as a zombie named Roy, and I draw a brain food card. Notice strength cards don't have numbers on them, so you can't defend yourself against them. I place the brain food in front of me because I'm a zombie, and until the start of my next turn, I am +1 on all my cards in my hand. So my attack cards are stronger, and my protection cards are also stronger. I can kill, and I can defend myself better than I could before, but only for one turn. Another type of strength card is the revenge card. The revenge card is my favorite card. If you are killed by another player, you can immediately play this card against them. Put this card in front of them, and until the start of their next turn, they are -1 on all their cards. You've gotten revenge for being killed. There are 3 types of blue rejuvenation cards in the deck. The Reborn spell can change anyone back into a human, including yourself. The Chalice, or the Elixir of Life, can gain back 1 life. In other words, you can take one of your coffins off one of your lives on your scorecard. The Resurrection Stone, if you are killed, you can play this card immediately. You are reborn as a human and you do not lose a life. These are great cards to have and help you win Fight Me. Black cards are movement cards, such as Reverse, to change the direction of play. Jump, to skip the next player. Or Steal a card, to take a card from another player. This is a blind draw, so the player holds up their cards without you seeing them and you take 1 card. That player at the end of your turn gets to draw a card and replace the one that you've taken. There are 2 types of battles in Bite Me. One you've already learned about, which is when a player plays an attack card on another player trying to kill a monster. An alpha battle is the second type of battle in Bite Me. When more than one of the same type of monster exists, for example, 2 vampires, an alpha battle must take place to determine who is the alpha vampire of the species. Additional monsters of that type will challenge the existing alpha. Let's say that I'm a vampire, and somebody else is infected and becomes a vampire. We must now have an alpha battle. Each player will put down their highest red attack card. In this example, I'll play a number 1 red fire attack card. My opponent might play a higher number red attack card, such as the Sword of Destiny, a level 4 attack card. My opponent is 1, and he or she is the alpha vampire. They've won the battle. If neither player in an alpha battle has a red attack card, then play the highest green attack card and continue from there to determine who's the alpha. If both players in an alpha battle have a red level 3 attack card, they would then place down their second most powerful card and continue until a winner has been found. The Sword of Destiny was the card that won the alpha battle. Therefore, my opponent, who's now the alpha, must discard that card. The alpha now can take 1 card from my hand or the loser's hand in a blind draw. They also get credit for killing that type of monster, in this case, a vampire. Since they are now an alpha and more powerful, they play with 1 more card. The loser plays with 1 less card until they change species again. The loser also covers up 1 of his lives since he lost the battle, and now plays with 1 less card until he changes species again. For example, if we were both playing with 7 cards at the beginning of the battle, the alpha would now go to 8 cards, and the loser would go to 6 cards. There are a few unique cards in Bite Me. The Bite This card is a level 3 attack card. However, the victim of this card does not die, but they do lose 2 cards until they change species again. The victim will discard 2 cards of their choice and play with 2 less cards. Players can gain or lose cards in Bite Me because of an alpha battle or because of a Bite This card. Please notice that the gains or losses of cards in a game are limited by maximum and minimum numbers. Notice the Nuclear Strike card has no level on it. No one can defend against this card. It kills all infected all at once. If the player of the card is infected, they will also die. Also notice that this card is only played once during the course of the game. There is only one card in the deck of Nuclear Strike. After the card is played, remove it from the deck and set aside for the remainder of the game. The Reflection Shield is a level 4 protection card. If I am attacked with a level 3 attack card and I play the Reflection Shield to protect myself, I am protected, and it also reflects the same card back at my attacker. My attacker would now have to defend itself against a level 3 attack card. The Monster Shuffle is a black movement card. However, this card is different than all the other movement cards. There's only one in the deck. If this card is played, each player will hand all of their cards to the player to the left of them. They retain all of their alpha status and the number of cards. So if you're handed a hand that has less cards, you'll draw back to the number that you had prior to the shuffle. If you have more cards, you'll discard to get back to the number before the shuffle. After this card is played once, it is removed from the deck and will not be played again in the same game. We hope you enjoy slaying all your friends and family with Bite Me.